We're going to do my brother, I just had a conversation with him, and he's a Harris supporter. And I told him if I was going to vote at all, I'd vote for Trump over Harris. And he got all triggered. I go, I'm not going to tell you his name, but I go, hey, you mean to tell me you can't agree to disagree with me without. I go, are you that immature? Where even if I did tell you I was going to vote for Trump, you wouldn't want to talk to me again. You'd be angry at me. Whatever happened to people just respecting other people's fucking opinions? I mean, fuck, I'm a registered lifelong Democrat, an old school Democrat. Back to the Clinton years and people like that. Clinton was the last president balanced the budget. Now where am I? I'm actually an independent now. I'm just still registered as a Democrat. But the reality is, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. My views didn't shift. They shifted more to the progressive and the leftist side, way left. I was just slightly left of the center. And the Republican Party has moved more towards me. See, in the 60s, they were not the party of free speech. They were the party of what? Not free speech. It was the Dems that were. So everything is switched. Or quite frankly, all this woke fucking nonsense of transing our kids and shit, fuck it. This DEI nonsense and shit. Yeah, my brother doesn't have to worry about it. He's a white fucking dude. He's got his own fucking law firm. He does the hiring and firing. Like, he's got to worry. See? And I told him, you should see the text I sent him. I go, your wife never liked me from day fucking one. I remember the first time I met her, she started screaming at me for no reason. Thinking, what? And you know what? My problem was I did not want to make waves with my family, so I never said anything to her. Today, if she did that to me, or back then, in hindsight, I would have said, what's wrong with you? You're verbally abusing me. And I didn't know how to handle it at the time. My brother... Let me tell you, my brother... See, when we were growing up, I was the quiet kid. I would sit in the corner and not cry. My brother was he would cry all the time. I was the opposite of him. So he still does it today. He rage quits on me. It's funny. I said, why are you doing that? I just went through 2 months where I didn't want to talk to your rear end. And now you're pulling this shit? I go, do you would not want to... Wait, I didn't want to... I told him I was never going to talk to him for a while. And he comes calling back to me. Saying, I didn't hear from you. I'm worried about you. Maybe not. But if he doesn't fucking get his shit... See, he's like a lot of chicks. He's not introspective. He's just got no introspection. He doesn't realize what he's still... Even on acid, he's less introspective. He's just always got to find some way to... I'm telling you. He's got a big ego for no fucking reason. You know what he does? I'm embarrassed to say it. You know what he does in law? He evicts people. That's what he does. So he's one of those, and it's cookie cutter law too. See, when you evict people, you might say that's a civil matter, right? Yeah, it's civil, but obviously it's not criminal unless, it's a civil matter. But it's not done in a typical civil way, like I spent 20 years in complex business litigation. So technically speaking, if I had to sue somebody in a complex business litigation case, I would have way more knowledge of it, even though I've been out of the field for 15 years, than my fucking brother, who's been a lawyer 25, 35, 45, 40, almost 45 years, 43 years. but he just does cookie cutter law. Let me tell you the difference. When it's cut and dry. I'll tell you why. When you go to evict somebody, they can tell the judge, I lost my job, my girlfriend moved out, I had to break my lease. It doesn't matter. Whatever excuse they have, the judge is not going to buy into it. It's a very cruel type system where the judges will not buy into your problems, and rightfully so. The landlord's on the hook for the money. They want to get their money. Nobody's trying to play the bad guy. But do I want to be the person? I told my brother, I go, what benefit are you to society when all you fucking do is evict people and put them out on the street? I mean, the end result is that. And somebody like my brother is perfect for it because he has no empathy. And it's weird, man. And he doesn't want to recognize me as the great artist that I am because he's in denial about it, you know? He doesn't want to realize his ego will not allow... He's only 13 months older than me. It's not like he's 10 months older than me. His ego will not allow him. I mean, he just hung up on the phone. I was texting him. No, I called him and he hung up. He rage quits. In 2 weeks, he'll be calling me and kissing my ass because he knows I'm right. I just tell it like it is. It's funny. It's like, I'm telling you, from day one, his wife never liked me. Why? She's a narcissistic cunt. Remember, the first time I met her, she came into my house, my parents' house. I was living with my parents at the time, I think, because I was in my 20s. She started yelling at me for no reason, just going off on me. Now, in hindsight, if that happened today and somebody did that, I'd say, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? You yelling at me is a form of verbal and psychological abuse. Not that I can't handle it from you, but do you want me to go off on you now? And see, when I go off on her, because I have in the last 5 years, I don't hear from her. She does. It's funny. See, this is how stupid chicks are. I purposely didn't say anything to her because back then I was just more introverted and I was just... Bottom line is, I didn't want to make waves for my brother, and I should have, though. I should have put her in her place a long time ago. Now I don't hear from her. And she knows if she was in my presence, like in the past, she would never open her goddamn mouth to me. Never. And you know what the sad part is? I've always been, well, I don't know, my 20s I was different. I can't think back. I wasn't where I am in life. But nobody talks to me that way. Not even my older brother. It's funny. He comes crawling back. I told him I don't want to talk to him again. He comes crawling back to me a couple months ago, trying to make nice with me. And, you know, unfortunately, in most cases, if he wasn't my brother, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd cut him off. But we have a pact in my family. My mom's last dying wish was that we would all get along together. I already don't get along with my sister. So, and all these people, I was the black sheep of the family. All of them feel that it's cool to gaslight me. It's cool to scapegoat me. This is how I grew up. They still continue to do it. They, in spite of, anyway, it doesn't matter how much success I have. They'll never recognize it. Now, do I need a bunch of loser siblings to recognize my success? Fuck no. Why? Because I already know they're hardwired not to. I'm telling you, my brother doesn't even watch my videos. I remember one time he came to a big film festival. It was at Universal City. Dino De Laurentiis, the famous movie producer, his cousin Suzanne De Laurentiis was putting it on. It was 2008 or 9, Cinema City International Film Festival. I was winning a big award. It was me, my brother, my mom, and I think my younger brother showed up too, possibly. Or maybe just the three of us. Maybe it was my sister, I can't recall. Instead of my brother being proud and happy for me, I'm not just saying this, you could tell he wasn't. there was this part of him that just felt uncomfortable that I was getting all the accolades. Whereas if it was me, I'd be proud of my brother, saying, fuck, my brother was able to do all that. He wasn't able to do it, see? It just, it's weird. There's just a sibling rivalry. It's like Cain and Abel or something. And you know what? It's all my brother. I don't, you know? It's all my, and to this day, he'll blame his wife not liking me on me. Somehow I did something to her. Yeah, 5 years ago. Yeah, because I've been telling her off lately. The last 5 years since my mom's gone, or 8 years, I just tell her ass off now if I have to. To make up for lost time. I'm telling you, man, this woman, I could tell you stories. I remember one time we were going to a fucking, well, this video's running out. I'll tell it next time. But I remember one time, like one of the first or second times she ever met me, she came into my house. We're in my parents' house. I was in my mid-20s. She was like a year or two younger. And it's like, we're just in the house. We're in the, like the main foyer. Because my parents had a big 3,200 square foot home. You know, we were tri-level. We had money. And she came in there and she just started ranting, raving, and going off on me. And I literally did nothing to her ever like that. All she did. And then throughout the last 30, 40 years, it was like Jekyll and Hyde with this bitch. I remember one time after I got divorced, I had to sell my house, you know, in Anaheim Hills, because my wife was forcing me to. I could, you know, after so many years of her not living there, she wanted the money out of it. So my sister-in-law held me pleasant as can be. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we're cool. Next time I see her, she'll be cool to me. No, she was a bitch. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, next time I see her, she's going to be a bitch to me. And no, she's nice to me. Literally, these people, let me tell you, people, you will deal with a lot of fucked up individuals who literally, and I'm going to say they do it on purpose. They're mind fucking you, people. They are just mind fucking you. I'm telling you, that's what they're doing. And then they try to put it onto you. See, now my brother will say something like, well, it was all your fault because who knows? It's just constant blame shifting. And I say this because a month down the road, he'll be calling me as if nothing happened. I'm telling you, I know these people are. What did I say? I was telling him the truth. See, the truth, you know, if somebody tells me the truth about something, first of all, I don't rage quit or hang up the phone on anybody. Never do. I never do. I think it's a sign of disrespect. If I have to hang up on you, that's a you problem. It's always the ones that are the weakest that do the hanging up because they get so frustrated. Look how easily, and see, like a if I was a narcissist, I'd say something like, well, look how easy I can get. Like if I was like Beautiful Life or one of those type of narcs, I'd be saying, look how, you know, how easily I got her triggered. Got him triggered. And I would actually like that. I would actually feel good about myself thinking, wow, I drew this emotion out of him. Yeah, I'm a powerful person. No, only a narc thinks that way. I don't think that way at all. Why? Because I could trigger any motherfucker. I could get any rage dude to rage quit against me if I gave enough shit. You know, I want to tell you narc something. You think you're good at manipulation? I'm not a narc and I don't manipulate people. I'm a film director, filmmaker, but I'll tell you one thing. If I want to manipulate people, and I don't, I just can't do it. Especially in a negative way, but even a positive way. Why don't I want to manipulate people? Manipulation is control. I don't want to control anybody. I don't. I don't understand people that you know what? I know how to manipulate people. I could do it. Oh yeah, I could. Trust me, I know every manipulation tactic in the world, in the book. I just don't refuse to use it. It's like I don't see any point to it. I think weak people have to manipulate people. Why would I have to manipulate anybody or lie to anybody? Why would I have to manipulate you to get you to do something? Either I tell you I'd like you to do it or you don't do it. If you don't do it, fine. That's it. If I have to manipulate you into doing it, then I'm imposing something onto you that wasn't inherently in your free will. Most of you will never understand this. Most of you are not on Xanax and shrooms like me. That's why.